Hello everyone, and welcome to the Super Cool Podcast. I am your host as always, the spirit of Super Cool Radio himself, Matthew Thomas. This is the 12th episode of the Super Cool Podcast, and this week's featured artist is Kaleido out of the Motor City. And I'll be doing my EP review of their latest release, No Really, I'm Fine. I had a chance to see Kaleido in Battle Creek, Michigan at the Music Factory. That was in November of last year. They put on such a killer performance. You can tell they put a lot of passion, intensity, and energy into their stage shows. Christina is a phenomenal vocalist live. Plus she had Joey playing a solo as he always does. So it was a fantastic show. There's also Elsie Binks, Pirate Blaze, and Stitched Apart were also at that show. So it was a stacked show that day in Battle Creek, Michigan. Also, a cool fact about that tour that Kaleido was on was Stitched Apart. They got a new guitarist, Drew. That was like the first couple shows that he played with Kaleido, and they rocked the house. He's a very talented guitarist. So again, I hope to see Kaleido again when all this stuff is lifted and we can have concerts again. I would really want to see Kaleido live again, and one day we will. Now let's get into this EP review. I'm going to start, as I usually do, with the cover art. And I will say, this cover art is graphic, but it tells a very good story. So you see Christina on the cover. You see, she has a bloody nose. She has a black eye, and you see someone reaching for her hair. It looks very graphic, but the way I interpret the No Really I'm Fine cover art is that it's all the stuff that's on the inside that people don't see. That you may look normal, but on the inside you look how Christina looks in the cover art. And that's, I think, where they get the name No Really I'm Fine, is you don't see that with people, but that's how they are on the inside. And I think it's very relatable, especially I know to me and other people as well. Everything that goes on in this EP is very relatable to what people are going through, and especially right now as well. So let's dive right into No Really I'm Fine. The first track is Eating Me Alive. I really like some of the lyrics in there. Running low on self-control. I interpret that as you're running out of patience, you're running out of being nice to people, you're running out of everything, really. And the feeling of losing self-control, falling apart, it's almost like considering suicide. And you hear the voice in my head says that I'm better off dead. People have been there, the dark places where they've thought about suicide. You kind of tell, it kind of eats them up inside, thoughts in your head that you can't escape because it's your own mind telling you that I'm better off not living. And it's a very heavy song, especially when you really listen to the lyrics in this song. It is very heavy. It is very mature. I really enjoyed Christina's vocals in Eating Me Alive. There's a great scream around the 2-minute mark and at the 2:15 mark. This is a great rock song. It's very hard-hitting, especially with the vocals and the lyrics, especially when she screams, "Make it stop." It's just like the inner voice telling you, make it stop, make everything stop. I can't deal with everything right now. If you're considering suicide, don't do it. Reach out and talk to people, because you're not better off dead, even if there's a voice inside you telling you that. So again, very heavy song, and I love Christina's vocals throughout Eating Me Alive. Second song is My Fire, and this is a very uplifting song when you listen to the lyrics. You're the one who paved the way for me. I interpret that as someone helped this person through their dark times. Someone was the light in their darkest times. And now that person inspired another person to live their life to the fullest, to be better, and to get help. So one person inspiring another person can inspire a whole group of people who just pass it along. And then everyone needs help as well. We don't know what each other is going through when we see them, especially on a day-to-day basis. We don't know what's going on with them, and we just have to be nice and kind to everyone. We all go through dark times, but people are there to support us and to help us. We just have to find them. We have to reach out, because especially with suicide and mental health, it may not be obvious to other people that this person is really going through a dark time and they're really struggling. So we all have to be kind and nice, and we have to be the light in someone's darkness. This is a very powerful song, and I love Christina's screams throughout the whole song. And I like the ending, the last 20 seconds. You hear Christina's vocals and a acoustic guitar. It's a softer ending. Really did the ending to it. This is, again, another very heavy and mature song, but it's very uplifting that we can be the light in someone's darkness. Great message in My Fire. The third song definitely got the biggest tagline in it, and it is Pretending. I know me and Christina, we talked about this in our interview. It's okay to not be okay sometimes. In the interview, Christina definitely highlighted the word sometimes when she was speaking, because it's okay to not be okay sometimes. Sometimes we fall apart. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes things don't go correctly as planned. Sometimes we're not feeling 100%. Sometimes we don't feel like doing something. And that's okay, because if you're not feeling okay at all, then there's bigger issues to address. But sometimes we don't hit the mark correctly, and sometimes things just don't go right. This song really touched me. It's just good to hear someone else say that, because sometimes you're struggling and you just have to pretend like nothing's going on, even though in your head it could be a dumpster fire of a bunch of things that have gone wrong and they're all just eating at you. And when you hear someone say that to you, it helps you get through that darkest times. And especially right now with everything going on, the lockdown and other issues going on, it's a good song to listen to. I love the line, "It takes the dark to see the stars." Again, me and Christina talked about this. At the darkest times, you really appreciate your highest moments, your lightest moments, your best moments. So when you're down, you can look up and go, yeah, I did that. Or yeah, I accomplished that. And so I can get through these tough times because I know I can do it. Another great line in there, sick of painting on a smile. You're just sick of pretending to be happy all the time, even when you're really not, or when things get uncomfortable, or when you don't want to be around people. You just pretend like you're happy to be there, but really deep down you're really not, for whatever variety of reasons. We fall, we break down at times, we experience up and downs, but we will get through all of this. Just a great message in Pretending, and I think a lot of people grabbed onto that song. I know I certainly did, because it has helped me through dark times, and I know it has helped other people as well. And there's some great screams around the 240 mark, and I like to switch to the acoustic guitar around the 245 mark. It's just for a little bit. It's briefly, like 10 to 15 seconds. But it's a nice shift in the music. Keeps you intrigued. And then it goes back to the hard rock sound. It's a great message with solid music in Pretending. It's the song that I connected with the most off this EP. The fourth song is Blood. This is another big song for Kaleido. I know they have in their store, they have their Blood shirt, which has the lyrics on there. And it has a hard rock start for like the first 10 to 15 seconds. And then it gets a little bit more mellow, but then it cranks up to a hard rock song again. And this is, I think, the most heavy song, just lyric content alone. Someone is telling this person that they're not worth a damn, like you said, nothing special. So they're in some type of abusive relationship. What I also took away from this song, maybe it's not with another person. Maybe this is in their head. Maybe they're arguing with themselves, if you can grasp that. It could be abusive relationship, it could be physical, or just could be mental as well. It could be in their head, or it could be another person in their life as well. And again, I love Christina's screams. She does it in every song, and I absolutely really enjoy them. It's at the 150, the 2, the 205, and a long scream at the 210 mark. The lyrics are very powerful. No one owns me, and there's blood on my hands. Who's powerless now? The person, they took care of their problem. Whether it was another person, whether it was in their head, they took care of their problem. And it's a little bit open to what that person did. Blood kind of is a graphic word, so could have been something physical, but I will leave that up to the listener. The last song is My Enemy. If you bought the physical copy of No Really, I'm Fine, this was a bonus track. If you bought it digitally, like on iTunes, this song was not included on No Really, I'm Fine. I know the single they released was censored, but this song on No Really, I'm Fine, the physical copy, is uncensored. My favorite song, and Christina's vocals, it's all you hear really in the beginning. And I like the lyrics, no more chances, you're out. And there's some just killer guitar work on here. Phenomenal. It's just a heavy, hard rocking song. And My Enemy Won't Hold Me Back. And I was thinking, who is the enemy? Is it another person? Or is it, again, something in your head? Are you your own enemy? Again, kind of up to that interpretation of what you think it is. Either it's another person, or I actually like to think it's in your head, because sometimes your biggest enemy is yourself. You get in your own way, or you hold yourself back because you don't think you can accomplish something, even though you know you can, but you're scared to try. I've been there before. I really have. This song has a really good message in there, and you just have to find out who your enemy is, whether it's yourself holding yourself back or the people you associate with holding you back. But no more chances. You're out. You're done. If you're in some type of toxic relationship or a toxic mental space, you have to work to get better and be the best person you can be. You don't want anyone holding yourself back. You want to be running at 100%. One more note about my enemy. That is how Kaleido closed their show in Battle Creek last year. If you like the studio version, you will absolutely love the live version. Christina gets so intense with the crowd during My Enemy that you just have to sing along and just be in the moment. That was my review of No Really, I'm Fine. I do highly encourage anyone, especially right now, to check out and support Kaleido. Pick up No Really, I'm Fine. It's like $11 at their store. Get a physical copy of it, or you can stream it on all streaming services as well. But this is a great band. I really enjoyed talking to Christina. She was wonderful to talk to. And we kind of talked about, the messages in No Really, I'm Fine. There's a lot of them. And these songs are very mature. They're very heavy. But also I noticed with this EP, the confidence of Kaleido, not only musically, but lyrically and vocally, is just going up and up. They're a very talented band. I really enjoy their music. When everything clears up again, I would love to see them live. But please, check out Sport Kaleido. Great band. Listen to No Really, I'm Fine. Pick up their Experience album while you're at it too, because that's another great album. And I recommend anyone, especially if you're in that negative headspace, please listen to this EP. I know it has helped me, and I'm sure if you're in that headspace, this EP will help you out as well. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Super Cool Podcast. I know we got into some heavy topics with No Really, I'm Fine, but they were all worth talking about. So please, one more time, check out, support, and give a like to Kaleido, and follow them on all their social media accounts as well. Thank you for listening to the Super Cool Podcast with your host, Matthew Thomas.